There's 40,000 vehicles that went by a day. Speed limit was technically 25. Everybody did 40, 50 miles an hour. They weren't stopping, so I had people that come in after 2 years of being there. Hey, just drove by, saw your sign. How long you guys been here? 2 years? Oh, wow. you know, but so I wanted a spot that was, kind of residential setting, but business setting as well. Because you want to be close to the residential area, because that's when people are on their way home and to and from work, and they see you. You want to be close to businesses because that's going to get traffic for people going to these other businesses. I'm right off of right the corner. I'm right. I'm 60 feet from the intersection. The light changes red every 30 seconds. 5 cars fit between the light and my shop. From car number 6 and back, they're looking out front and seeing my sign while they're looking around the red light. They see, new to UPC. I've got a 4-foot by 8-foot lit sign out front. I've got, the realtor signs, the yard signs. I've got a QR code on one. I've got my name and logo, the logo on another one. I've got a set of those facing in either direction. You got to have exposure.
Did your 4-foot by 8-foot sign? Did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Did you? Was that sign on the building, or did you commission that to be made when you moved in that place? Or did it just change it over?
No, it was the 8-foot by 4-foot portable signs, they call them, that you can pick up for a few $100s usually. Like if you're gonna buy one new, go to Sam's Club. They're like $300. It comes with a pack of the letters that you can change out.
Okay.
All
right,
okay.
I get you.
I picked mine up for $20.
Nice. Yeah.
This was had closed, and I was stopped in there because they had some shelving sitting out front with $3. I was like, "Hey, you guys moving? You gonna take your sign with you?" I'm like, "I'm not sure." I said, "Well, here's my name and number. Here's a card. Let me know." They called me up about a week later and said, "Hey, you still interested in that sign?" I said, "Sure." I said, "Well, how much you want for it?" She goes, "How much you want to give me for it?" I said, $20. She goes, "Take it."
Wow. Good deal, man.
Yeah, that worked out really well. You want a place where you got some parking. You want to have a place where your customers are able to park and not sitting on the street, because my parking situation here is not ideal, but I do have parking. There's parking in front on the street. There's parking next to my office, and then I have parking in the back. So there's plenty of parking. It's just a lot of times people don't know where to park when they come here, because immediately next to me is a pizzeria and a little strip center. So they don't know, well, am I supposed to park there, or where do I park? I'm like, I just park around back, park next to the fence. I don't care. Park over there. As long as you go in and buy a slice of pizza, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Which is actually one of the things that I'm going to be working on here next week, is going over and talking to the manager and seeing about getting a partnership set up, advertising partnership set up with them. I'll give out a free slice of pizza with every service, and have them, give the customer a coupon, and they go over there and get a free piece of pizza. End of the week, they can get the bill, and then, I just pay for the pie.
Wow, that's a good idea. That's good thinking.
And those are the things that, when I'm sitting here, during my slow time, I try to think of, different things. How can I get some more customers in here? What little gimmicks or something like that, without being cheesy, because that's the last thing that somebody wants, is something that's cheesy.
Right.
Except cheesy slice of pizza, maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, man, but I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Actually,
man, Chuck, I'm glad I'm talking to you today, because it just so happens I'm moving into a building that's about 6 car lengths from the busiest intersection in our county, and I just got the keys to it yesterday, actually. So that's kind of cool.
That's great. When I was looking, I thought about going into a strip center, and people, when they go to a strip center, they're really, there to shop. They're not looking for services in a strip center. So if you've got a display and you're selling computers, great. But if you're selling your service with the rent fees that they are, and your signage expenses that are there, it gets really expensive. And I was looking at a place that was $3.50 a square foot with $6.50 a square foot cam charges. And the cam fees are to take care of the garbage and the lot, and the landscaping and things. So I'm like, look, I don't have but one bag of trash a week. I can snow blow my own parking areas, and landscaping, I can go pull some weeds. It's not worth $6.50. When the price of the rent was only $3.50. It's just outrageous. So, I was looking for, I had it kind of narrowed down to one place I was really looking at. It was not necessarily ideal, but I was like, well, it could work. The price wasn't too bad. And, I had a customer of mine, a business customer, that was moving. And I'd been in their business several times. And I was like, really? Well, how much, don't mind me asking, how much, were you paying there? She told me. I was like, really? That's it? She was like, yeah. I was like, I said, well, let me get the landlord's name and number. I called him up. He goes, certainly, yeah, go ahead. You want the place? That saves me from advertising. Great. I came over. We did a walkthrough. I actually, my customer had asked me, well, how much would you charge me to move me to my new place? I gave her a very high figure. I didn't want to do it. And so she goes, well, I got an offer for this much. Did you want to revise your offer? And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. So, but I was going to be commissioned to move the computers over. And I came over to, she calls me up there, get everything packed up. All right, go ahead and, get the computers and move them over. She calls her guys that are going to do the moving in. They bailed.
Oh.
Can you do it? I said, it's going to be the price that I told you. She's like, okay, we got to get it done. So got everything moved out and called the landlord up, said, hey, when can we, take a look at the, go through a walkthrough and of the building. He's like, oh, she's already moved out. I said, yep, moved her out yesterday. And he's like, okay, well, we'll go take a look at it, next week. I said, okay, great. Came over, looked at it, and said, okay. It was towards the later part of the month. I said, when would I be able to move in? He goes, move everything over. He goes, you give me, sign the lease and give me, first month on deposit. He says, you can move in right now. I said, here's the check. Here's the lease that's already signed. Like, I said, I already got the keys and the alarm code, so we were all good. So I started moving in. Literally, I signed it at about 2 o'clock, went back over to his office, made copies, got the rental truck back at my shop at 4:30 in the afternoon, started loading things up, and had a long weekend.
Wow. So it was kind of moving condition then, huh? You didn't have to do a lot of work before you moved in then. That's kind of helps a little bit.
Right. I mean, there was, some minor things here and there, like the wall. She had, letters, like 10-inch letters that were screw anchored into the wall. The landlord had his maintenance guy come over, patch those up. He did that a few weeks ago. So it's, I had to change out the locks because she had the locks changed. Didn't give him the keys. I had keys to it, but I didn't have keys to all of the locks. So, he's been, very accommodating.
So is it a bigger place than your old one? Or you said it's a little smaller, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, as far as usable space, it's the same or actually maybe even bigger than what I had before. The building before, it was 2 stories plus a basement, but the second floor wasn't habitable. The basement the whole thing. It just really needs to be condemned. It was horrible conditions that I was in there. We didn't have running water. We had a wood burn furnace. And Trust me, I look forward to coming to work every day now when I don't have to come in and it's, 30 degrees inside, build a fire, wait till noon to finally be able to, take off one of my layers. Because
Wow.
I come into work with, sweatpants, blue jeans, Carhartts, t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie, and a big thick down jacket, and I would be in that till after lunch every day. Man, it wasn't ideal. I wear house slippers now while I'm at work all day. I love it. It's so much better here.
Yeah,
um,
I bet you don't hear too many computer shops that have a wood burning stove for heat, man. Too often. I've never. That's the first I've heard.
and
That's
then on
great.
the same note, in the summertime, we had when we opened up, there was two window units. Last summer I put in another window unit right above my work area, so that way I wasn't sweating my butt off all day. You're over in Illinois. I'm in Indiana. It does get pretty warm here, especially when you have a building that has no circulation, no air, and it just kind of bakes in.
Yeah. Yeah,
One
I'd
of the
say.
things that go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying I'm like straight west of you where you're at, so I know it's probably get the exact same weather. Just you get a half a day later than me. That's all.
Yeah, then the lake turns around and dumps much more snow onto me, so it really
Yeah.
kills me. Um, some of the other things I was looking at when I was looking at getting the shop was co-oping with another business. One that would be. I was trying to think of, should I go with one that's similar but not the same, or a business that say is totally different, and utilize their traffic to turn into my customers as well. I had a buddy of mine has a automotive shop. It's busy in there, and it helped him out because I'm his computer guy, and be able to help out, whenever there's a computer problem or if he's busy, help him manage, his customers. But the space just wasn't there. Then I was thinking, maybe I could find a guy that does, graphics and web design or something like that. Since I don't do that, it would be kind of a, similar but not enough to conflict with my business. And when I found this place, I just said, I got to take it. One of the things that kind of when I was looking when we were moving my customer out of here, and uh, I have I refer to him as a TIT, tech in training.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, well, we were
I wasn't sure what you were referring to as that, but okay.
we were moving the customer, my customer out. My office that I'm in now, I started looking at the wood paneling that's in here. It's the exact same wood paneling that I have in my house, in the basement and in the back den. And I was like, that's just a sign that this is where I'm supposed to be at. And I've been here for 3 months now. It's up and down, but it's rough when you move from I only moved a couple miles from my previous location, but I had 60% of my clientele over there not paying. They would come in, bring in their stuff for service, and then you call them,
Hmm.
nothing. So I put in, made sure that I had a 30-day clause. You don't come back and pick your system up after 30 days, it's mine. Wasn't enough. So then I instituted a late fee. If anybody subscribes to TechNoble this past week, one of the things that they were talking about was late fees. Well, I guess mine would be pretty harsh compared to what they were talking about. They were talking about charging maybe a $5 or a $10 late fee. My late fee is $5 a day after 5 days, every
Hmm.
single day up for 25 days. So if you come in for a service and it's $60 and you don't come pick it up till day 30, you're looking at almost a $200 bill to pick it up just for the $60 service because you did. I tell my customers all the time, if you're not going to be able to pick it up, just call me. We can work it out. I won't charge you as long as you stay in touch with me. But it just, where I'm at now